Yeah, thanks. So let's start. So today we are going to discuss with some more options here. So in general, like let's connect it to Excel. So let's click on Excel so that it is connected to Excel, right? So it shows Excel connectivity. And we'll look into some more points here. So whenever we are going to connect it to Excel sheet or Excel, so let's drop two tables here. You can see left join and inner join. Got it right? You can see left join and inner join. Let's connect with any database here or MS Access. So I do have Access database. You can go with any database. So I don't have any database connectivity, but just go with the Access database. So this is Superstore data, and we do have two tables. You can see inner join and left join. So we don't have an option called right join to perform here, but how to get a right join, I'm going to showcase that to perform a right join. But first we can connect to MS Access database. So let's drop a table from MS Access database, coffee chain query. This is Access database, coffee chain. And drag and drop one more table here, location. Now you can see you're getting inner join, left join. You can perform left join, or you can also go with the right join. But when it comes to like Excel, connectivity, so let's go with sheet 1. You can see that we have sample superstore data. So we don't have an option called right join. So how to perform a right join when we connect it to Excel, and we cannot go with a SQL query here or a custom SQL. So when we connect it to Access database, so when we connect it to MS Access database or any particular database, we have an option called new custom SQL. We have an option called new custom SQL where you can write a custom SQL query and you can work on. That is what the point. So first, while working with a database or any particular databases, you can write a custom SQL query. But while working with Excel file or Excel databases or Excel is not a database, Excel file. So it is not possible to write a custom SQL query. You got it right? So we have an option called, you can perform an option called union. You can go with union options. But first thing, how to get a new custom SQL for Excel? Right? So can we write a custom SQL on the top of Excel? Custom SQL, and we can go with the different kinds of joins as well. So now go with one more like connectivity. Just click on connect, the same Excel sheet. Go with the documents, my Tableau repository, data sources. Just select, don't double click. And you have an option called open, right? So just click on open, or you can go with open with legacy connection. Open with legacy connection. Now click on open with legacy connection. So connected to Excel, but it shows legacy. Connected to Excel, it shows legacy. So legacy in the sense, you can go with the different naming conventions because legacy is totally different. But here in Tableau, so no, like Tableau can works in Windows, or you can also go with Mac. So it's a legacy connection where, so no legacy connection in the sense like, no, like legacy in the sense like we cannot, in general, on the top of Excel, right, we cannot write a custom SQL query. So, but if you want to write a custom SQL query, you can make use of legacy connection. That's it, simple. So not only with a different platforms, so simple, go with a legacy connection. Now you can see, okay, I'm not sure with that. I don't have I will check with that. So I will check with the legacy. So simple, let's connect Excel sample superstore. You don't open. Click on open with legacy connection. That is what. So maybe like I will check with the connectivity whether it works in Mac or not. So this is what the legacy connection. Just go back. You got it right. So we have a legacy connection. Now just drag and drop orders table and people table. Now you can see you can perform inner join, left join and right join. Initially we don't have a right join for Excel, but when it comes to like superstore data, now you can see. So we cannot perform right join. So to perform a right join for Excel data, Excel connectivity, you can make use of legacy connection and you can also write a custom SQL. So that is what the advantage with legacy connection. Got it right? And what is the syntax? Like we can write a custom SQL on the top of legacy, but what is the syntax we follow? So you can convert to custom SQL data, convert to custom SQL. So you can convert to custom SQL, click OK. This is a custom SQL query. Just go with the superstore data. So we don't have an option called convert to custom SQL for a normal connection, normal Excel connection. We cannot, it is not possible to convert to custom SQL query. So to convert to custom SQL query, we have to work with the legacy connection. The first point. And let's go with the coffee chain or first check with the legacy connection syntax. So what is the SQL query syntax here? So select star from, let's go with star. Select star from orders table. So this is what the table and we are getting all the records here. Now you can see edit custom SQL, select star from orders table. So this is what the syntax. So you can see orders table, or I'm going to write one more time here. Just go with select star from, write a table name here, orders. Just click OK. So now you can see we are getting an error. So you have to make use of dollar symbol while working with the legacy connection. It's only for Excel. It's only for Excel. So make use of dollar symbol. Let's check whether it works or not. Still we are getting an error. So you have to make use of square brackets. This is mandatory for Excel. So select star from table name. So what is the use of new custom SQL in general? What is the use of new custom SQL? So while working with Tableau, right? So or any particular database. So in generally for in-memory tools, don't want to load unwanted data. So let's take, you know, the limitation of table. How many columns we do have in one particular table? So we do have like 250. We can have close to like 255 or 254, right? So okay. So let's go with those number of columns. So if we have like, I have seen some of the projects, like I have seen like close to 140 columns. I think you're aware of this, 120 columns or 100 plus columns in that table. I have seen one particular project, it's a HR related project. So I want to go with only like close to 30 columns from close to like 8 or 9 tables. So no need to pull the complete table into Tableau. No need to pull complete table into Tableau. That is what the thing. So if you have 100 number of columns, let's take a scenario. If you have 100 number of columns and if you have huge number of records, lakhs or millions of records. So I involved in one particular migration project. So when we are drag and drop a particular table into Tableau, to load the data, it is taking more than 40 minutes. More than 40 minutes or 1 hour of time to load, at least to load the data here into Tableau. So that is not the best practice. At least if you have a basic knowledge of SQL, it's a basic knowledge, like at least if you know the select statement, right? I'm going to list out some of the points. So you don't want to pull complete data here. So whatever the required information, I want to go with only few columns. Whatever the required information, write a custom SQL query, select, never go with a star. That is what the point, never go with a star. never display star. So go with column names, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and from table name. Got the point, right? If you have 100 number of columns, first thing, if you have 100 number of columns, don't load complete information into Tableau. Whatever the required information you have, just load only those related information, or just go with the column 1, column 2, or if you want to load only 10 columns out of 200 columns, just write a custom SQL query and click OK. Got it, right? So you don't want to load unwanted data. That is the advantage of new custom SQL. Or you can also convert, you can pull all the required tables and you can also convert into custom SQL, whatever I have shown in data modeling, right? So you can make use of that custom SQL query as well. But don't load unwanted data into in-memory tools. It takes lots of time to load the data initially. So that is what the point. And so the syntax for legacy connection is, one more time, you can see, select star from table name. Let's go with a square bracket. Orders, make use of dollar symbol, close the square bracket. So I'm not sure, like after creation, then we need to drag and drop in the sense. So we can create select. So whatever the select query, right? So you don't want to drag and drop. Whenever you're going to create a select statement, just click OK. It comes here. No need to drag and drop. It is not going to create here. So we can go with all the conditions, whatever the where conditions, right? So we can write a where condition, where. So first we can load, first point, you are aware of this data. So let's go with, it's a legacy connection. Let's drag and drop region here. We have 4 regions, correct? Go with the data source. I don't want to go with all the complete regions. So for my requirement, I want to go with only region equal to south. Just go with the sheet 1. You got it, right? Just check with the functionality. If it works, it will be fine. Like most of the cases, right? You can also filter out unwanted data by making use of SQL query, or we do have a flexibility where you can also go with the data source filters. So that is a filters concept. I'm going to explain that. But you can also write a custom SQL query and you can make use of filter condition, where clause. So this is what legacy connection, and we'll check with the functionality of normal database connectivity. Let's go with the coffee chain query. So this is a database, or you can also connect with Oracle SQL Server, but in general this is a database. And if you want to write a custom SQL query, now check with the syntax. Straight away you can write select. You don't want to go with semicolon for both the cases. Select star from table name. Let's go with location. So you don't want to write dollar symbol and square brackets. Just click OK for the database connectivities. But for only the legacy connection, you have to go with the dollar approach. So you have to make use of dollar symbol and square brackets. So that is the syntax. Is that clear? So make use of select statement or drag and drop one particular table here. Let's go with a location table, data, convert to custom SQL. Now you can see, if you want, you can make use of all the columns, or you can delete and load only the related information. And you can write a condition. So market. So here market is similar to region. Control C. Let's go with the where condition. Where region or market is not equal to central. So I'm aware of this particular data. Just click OK. Go with the sheet 1. Coffee chain. So this is a coffee chain data, right? Just drag and drop market. Market is not equal to central. Now you can see east, south, west. Data source level, drop down, edit custom SQL. Now remove this condition, click OK. Go with the same sheet 2. Now you can see central. Market is almost similar to region. Got it right in coffee chain. You can make use of where condition. You can write a custom SQLs. So what is the advantage of custom SQL in the sense? The advantage in the sense you don't want to load all the complete information. You can write a custom SQL query and load only the related information into Tableau. Got it? So this is what a legacy connection and whatever the Excel connectivity you can differentiate with database and Excel connectivity, and we have legacy connection. So and one more point, while loading the data into Tableau, we can also go with some pivoted data. So you know, like pivoting or cross tabbing, pivot table or cross tabbing. So I'm going to create a simple report, no issues with that. Just go with the Superstore data. Let's drop. So I have Superstore data. Let's think only one single database. This is the Superstore data. So let's create a simple report. Subcategory wise, sales, and drag region into columns. So moving rows into columns and columns into rows is called pivoting in general. The meaning of pivot in the sense moving rows into columns or columns into rows. But if you have the same kind of a data, pivoted data, so how to load that pivoted data into Tableau? So let's check, or let's export this one, cross tab to Excel. So have this kind of a data. So let's take like Control C, copy, and you can paste into Tableau, Control V. I just copy paste into Tableau. So just go with the data source level. First point, you are aware of this particular data. So I know like this is a subcategory and these are the headers. Because region is a header for all these, but we don't have a perfect column name. While exporting, we are getting an issue. So, okay, don't want to load region, but while loading the data, so I'm not able to load this particular data in a perfect order or in a perfect position. Now I can see. So F1, F3, F4, F5 region, we are getting region here. Region comes like for whatever the data we have, right? So it is taking this as a region. It is not a structured data, right? So while loading the data, whatever we exported, I want to load the same data into Tableau. So make use of some formatting here into Tableau. Just click on double click on or just go with the data source levels. Sorry, we have an option called Tableau Data Interpreter. So what is the useful of Tableau Data Interpreter? It avoids unwanted data. First thing, it avoids unwanted data. Or if you have any null values, right? So or whatever the columns you can see, right? It identifies the column names. It identifies the headers. So just click on turn on, and we can also review the results. So now you can see it identifies. Now you can it shows like subcategory, region central, region east, south, and west. And we are getting all these F1, F2 are like null values, or you can also delete. Clear? But just click on review results. You can see, right, this is what the Tableau Data Interpreter. So it shows the same like how it works. So data and whatever the headers, right, it shows headers in this particular color, and whatever the data it shows in this color. Just click on sheet 1 so that you can see the converted data. So this is what the header. So it reads this as a header, and it identifies this is a header, and it identifies this is the data. Got it? So we are not going to convert. This is an Excel formatted data, and now you can see this is what we exported. We are loading this particular data, but Tableau converts, or it interprets the data. So whatever the null values, right, it reads the headers. and we need to do some pivot like straight table, right? So we don't have a perfect data here. So still we have subcategory, but we don't have region. It shows region central, but this is a region central wise sales. This is what region central wise sales, east wise sales, south and west. But I need a column called region because initially what we have created is region as a dimension. I want to reuse this particular dimension in the same case here. So you can convert whatever the pivoted data, right, into straight table. Or I'm going to explain one more example. So we have one more data here, Excel. I think the same data which presents in the data source only, some GDP value, World Bank GDP. So if you want to check, you can check the World Bank GDP data. Data sources 9.3. Sorry. Yeah, World Bank GDP. So just double click. You can see, right? So we do have country name, country code, and years of data. So this is in GDP percentage calculation, percentage of GDP, or I can showcase. So this is a website. You can go with the World Bank data.organization, data.worldbank.com, worldbank.org. Just click on this World Bank data. You can download data from here. This is a data bank. You can download data from this particular website. So we do have lots of information here. Indicators, countries, databases. You can see, right? So statistical or some poverty related. Yeah, we do have poverty. And so we do have lots of data. You can download. You can download as CSV file or Excel file. Got it? And you can use that same data here. You can see download as Excel or CSV. Got the point, right? And you can use the same data for analysis purpose. So the same data I'm going to use, World Bank data. Just click open. So one more thing, just drag and drop data into drag sheets here. So while loading the data, now you can see it takes F1, F2, F3. It's not going to read the headers initially. Got the point? So this is what the data. So it reads. So because of this data, yes, we can use whatever the data, right? So we can use flat files or Excel or CSV. It is possible. So this is what. First, you can load the data. And while loading the data, we are getting some issues here. You can see, right? F1, F2. Just check with the new sheet. So this is what the dimensions or measures. So this is not the perfect formatted data. So to go with the same formatting option, just go with the data source. We have a flexibility where you can turn on Tableau data interpreter. So now it avoids the unwanted data and it reads country name, country code. Perfect, right? So country name is a header here, country code and years. We don't have a year, but you can see this is the header. Just load the same data into Tableau. Still, okay, this is fine. Country code, country name. You can drag and drop country name here. You can see all the countries data here. But the point is, I don't have a column called year and I don't have a individual column or that is called sales or GDP value. So I don't want to go with individual year-wise sales or something or GDP. So I need to convert. So that is what the option called pivoting. So just go with pivoted data. So we have lots of years. We don't have a shortcut. If you have lots of years, right, you have to control. You have to select. Control, select. Shift is not going to work. We do have lots of shortcuts, but shift is not going to work. Shift works for only the data. You can see, right, this is a shift. I'm making use of shift. It is not working for the like headers. It works only for the data. I'm using shift button now. Got it, right? But if you want to make use of pivoting, so I have years, but I want to convert into straight table. Control, you have to make use of control and select all the years. It's a manual process. So I'm looking for one more like workaround. So whether we have any workaround here. So I will check that. But so not an issue. Just select all these years. Control, make use of control and select all the years. Now you can see, right, we do have only 264 rows. Generally, if we have more than 1000 rows, it shows like 1000 initially, but you can see only 264 rows. But I'm going to convert this into pivot into like, just click on pivot, whatever the pivoted data, right, into cross like straight table, perfect format. You can see we do have more than 1000 rows. And country name, country code. Now you can see year-wise GDP. It aggregate across all the years. Now make use of GDP value, GDP percentage. And you can rename this as year. Go with the sheet 5. Now you can see we don't have any particular like unwanted data. Straight away you can make use of GDP percentage here. Or if you want to compare the results, let's check with any particular graphical things. So this is what the analysis based on number of years, or you can see the percentage of GDP. So we have 455 and we have Oman, like it's a smaller country where we have highest GDP percentage. You can compare these results like how much overall like value, right, overall revenue, how much they are going to spend this particular like for military, and you can do some analysis here. We do have lots of information here. So I can repeat. So just go back. No issues with that. Just go back. Just go back. This is what the stage where we have, right? So in general, while loading the data, so this is what the number of years. So I converted into pivot. So we have data year wise. This is a measure, correct, right? This is a value. We don't have a specific, first point is we don't have a specific column called GDP, whatever the measure value. Let's take sales. This is a sales. I don't have a specific column called sales, but you can see this is year wise sales. If we can add 1970, it shows 1970 wise GDP value. But I don't want to get this information. I want to make use of year as an independent column and sales as an individual measure. So to convert the same functionality, I make use of pivoting. So we have an option called pivot. This is a pivoted data. Make use of control. You need to select all the options. Sorry, you need to select all the years, right? Got the point here? You need to select all the years and now select pivot. That is what the thing. Select pivot, you will get to pivoted data. Then you can rename. I renamed it. So it's not like automation, but I renamed that particular data. Okay, just go friend here. Okay, so we lost that information. So now you can make use of same thing. You got it right. You can go front or back, whatever you have done. So select. So okay, give me a couple of minutes so that I will finish it off. So select all the years. Use control button, make use of control and select all the years. Now click on this drop down, click on pivot. So we got only like pivoted field names and pivoted field values. So field names in the sense it's a naming convention. So this is a dimension. So just rename year. And pivoted field values, this is a measure value, right? So you can rename or just drop down, make use of GDP. You can give your own naming convention. I'm not going to converting into dimension. This is that is totally different. So it's a dimension, but I'm just separating whatever the values, right? All the years into one single column and all the GDP values into one single measure. Now click OK. Just go with the sheet file. You can see GDP percentage. And if you want to showcase in a world map, you can click on a world map, filter out unwanted data. So this is what the advantage. You got it right, GDP percentage value. So whatever the GDP percentage shows, so now I can see it's in negative. It shows negative indicator. Every year wise, it's taking some time. We do have lots of years. So now I can see this every individual year wise GDP value. Got it? So more flexibility, like you can design those world maps. So yeah, no problem. So this is what like pivoting or cross tabbing or whatever the information, right? You can load pivoted data. Yeah, already like yeah, we can connect. Yeah, we already discussed, right? So I just shown, right? So here we have multiple data sources. That is what data blending. So we don't start any like at least like the development part. So I will explain that. So we can discuss more into data blending, and I'm going to explain the cross database join. That is from the newer version, from the 10th version. So we can also see those options, cross database join, and we can connect multiple data sources at a time. That is what the powerful feature of Tableau, data blending. So Tableau data blending. Just remember, we have a concept called blending. We'll discuss later. So any questions here? So pivot or legacy connection, and you can also split the data here. So while working with Tableau, so we can also split, just go with the superstore data source level. So here, if you have an like columns, like let's check here order ID. You have an option, you have a column called order ID. Let's drag and drop order ID here. So in order ID, we have CA 2011 and order ID. And you can come down, you can see multiple years, 2013, 2014, and you can also see some US related information. So that means I do have CA related information, or Canada, let's take Canada, and I do have US related information. So I just want to split in the sense I just want to separate, because so generally if you want to make use of filter condition, if I want to go with only CA related information, every time I need to uncheck CA related information. If you have lakhs of records, it is not possible. Correct, right? Or I want to go with only 2011 data. You can convert into like years, but here it is not possible. So that is what, just select only 2011 information. So you got it right. Still you can see CA12, CA13. Got the point? So at least, so okay, put aside this year. This is totally different. So first point is I want to make use of split. I want to separate the same column for the filter condition. For a filter condition, I need to separate the same column. So that means you have an option called split, or right click and you can find transform. This works only for Excel data or flat files. Transform, you can see right, custom split or split. You can make use of split. Straight away you can see order ID split 1, split 2 and split 3. Create a new sheet, double click on split 1. You can see CA and US related information. Split 2, year wise, and split 3, this is orders. Now you can see whatever the same related information, order ID have split it into 3 columns. So this order ID 1 or first order, you can see CA 2011 and order. So drop order ID, and I can see complete information here. Now you can use the individual columns as filter. Uncheck CA. So you can see right 5009 records. Uncheck CA. You can see 814 records with US related information. Or unselect and just go with the CA. You can see 4195 rows. Or you can also make use of years only 2011. Or let's drop split or just go with order ID here. Only 2011, 12, 13, 14. Got the point, right? So we have a flexible option called split. You can also work with split here or just delete. I don't want to load this. Delete. Yes. Now drop down. Just concentrate. You can also explain this in interviews. Just make use of split. Default we are getting split, right? So Control Z, drop down, custom split. You can go with custom split because we may have comma separator or we may have semicolon separator or hyphen. I can see this is a custom split. I want to go with first or last. You can go with first or last or you can go with all. But here there is a limitation. We have only CA1 2013 or year 2 and we have order ID. We have 3 columns. We can split into 3, right? Default, we have 3 splits. Split 1, 2, 3. What is the limitation here is whenever you're working with some comma separator values. So something like, like color, a person likes multiple colors, or let's go with the state related information or sample data. Let's go with codes. So I have something like the naming convention. So just go with the name and code. So take A and make use of comma separator value. I'm going to showcase the practical thing here. A1, A2, sorry, A3. For one column, we can go with more than 10. Then we can check whether it works or not. So we do have more than 10 comma separator, right? Up to 9, it is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So let's go with one more column here or one more row, record B, and you can make use of 3 or 4, no issues with that. So B1, B2, B3, B4. So no problem. So let's copy. I just want to showcase the split, how it works in Tableau and what is the limitation. Just paste here, copy paste. So we have almost like more than 10 here, 10 records, or sorry, 10 comma separator values for codes, and we have A and B. So now right click on code. Got it right? Transform, split. So in general, in initial case, whenever we are going to click on split, it doesn't ask custom split. But here we are getting a custom split because we have more than 10. Now right click on codes, transform, custom split, just go with the comma separator, make use of comma separator, and you can see first you can increase the count of columns. I'm just clicking, right? You're getting a sound. I'm just clicking. You can see still 10. So we cannot split more than 10 columns or 10 comma separator values. We cannot split. It is not possible to split 10 comma separated values. Got the point? So now you can see, click OK. So this is what the limitation. Or just double click here. You can test split 1, A1, split 2, A2, A3, A4. Got it? So it is not possible to go with more than 10. So that is what the limitation here. Just remember, but we can split. So we may have the data, but I have seen in one requirement for the US related, it's a world map related information, we have some state codes. We need to go with some separator. So that is what, so it's a drawback here. Only split is a drawback. It's all delimiters. It's only not only for column, like it's all for like not lose the data, but we need to do some formatting here, like at least in a backend, whatever the data, right? It's not like the importance of Tableau is like data analysis and data visualization. So we don't have like if we don't have a future of that, so we need to convert the same thing. At least we can convert into Excel in Excel, and we need to load the same data. So that is what the point. But what I'm saying is like we have a limitation that we can go with only for 10 splits. But when it comes to like superstore data, 10th split, you can go with the same, right? So just check with the clipboard. This one, A11. We have 1, 10. It's coming, it takes the order here, numerical order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and you can see 10th. A11. So you can compare with the data as well. You can, whether it works fine or not, you can also go with the split. So that is for the split. You can also go with splitting or separated. So in general, the advantage with split is like you can see superstore data where we have for filter condition. So you can make use of filter condition for, so we have order ID, right? So you can make use of filter condition, but we do have some flexibility here. Show filter. We can also have some wildcard match. I'm going to explain that wildcard character. So if it matches, let's CA star. It starts with CA, so you can see 4195, and just close. You can see 5009 records. You can also use some wildcard characters, or let's check with US information. Click enter. You can see 814 rows. So I can showcase all the flexibility. So you can also make use of wildcard match in filters, and we can also edit. So I will explain those filter conditions. You got the point, right? So this is what the initial loading time where we can do some modifications, making use of those pivoting or loading the Excel data, cross tabbing, or we can go with the Tableau data interpreter. Got the point, right? So we can load multiple data sources. That is not an issue. We can load multiple data sources, and you can see, right, the clipboard data, what it is showing is clipboard. So whenever you are going to copy the data, just go with the naming convention here, clipboard, copy data. So 2017 is the year, it is February, and the date is 22, correct? And you can see T in the sense it's a time, date and time. 08 hours 8:41. Now it is 8:45. 8:41, 08 seconds. It's an automated like it generates. So if you want to convert, or if you want to copy once again this same thing, now just let's copy. Let's test whether it takes the same. If you have any problem with audio, like can you please reconnect again? So I'm not sure. Can you please reconnect? You can drop and you can reconnect if you have any issues with audio. Let's Control V, just copy paste here, Control V. Just double click here. Now I can see, right, clipboard, whatever the date, it is perfect. So 02/22, got it, right? But you can see the time 8:46. Now the time is 8:46 and 33 seconds. Got it? It's a clipboard. You can copy paste, and you can also rename something like sample data. Clear? And now we can see the actual functionality of Tableau. So advantage with Tableau is like Tableau identifies the data types. Tableau identifies the data types. So whatever the data, right? So most of the case it identifies the data type. You can see this data sample superstore. Let's go with the data source level. Row ID, it's a pure number, numerical value. And you can go with order ID, it's string. Date, you can convert into date and time. If you want, you can convert into date and time. But I don't have it's a default time. We are getting a default time. So you can convert into date. So no use of date and time there. So that is what, it's a string and it's a number. You can see number whole. If you want, you can convert into number decimal, something like .00 or decimal points. It depends. But Tableau identifies those data types. That is what the advantage with Tableau. It's a default. And you can also see the geographical information, geographical, whatever the columns we have, right? It identifies those geographical information, geographical data, geographical role, and it assigns those country or city or state. You got it right? City or state. So it takes those information. It's a string, but you can see the geographical role, state. It identifies the geographical data type. And we also seen that we can also go with the measures and dimensions. Measures and dimensions. So it is not mandatory to go with the rows and columns. So you can also create a simple report here, subcategory wise sales. And you can also go with the swap here. You can swap those records. So now it is subcategory into columns and row, like measure into rows. You can swap now subcategory into row. It depends on the requirement. It depends on the requirement. It's not mandatory, and we don't want to bother about all this functionality. If the user wants to showcase the same report in horizontal or vertical, you can make use of horizontal axis. And I'm going to explain all these charts. We'll discuss later, but just we can discuss what about the like columns and rows, and we have seen like pages also, right? The animation related information. And if you have any doubts, you can ask. Like rows and columns, it's not mandatory. It's not mandated to place dimension into rows or measures into columns. And you can also type in. You can also type in. That is what the advantage. If you want to perform a calculation, you can also perform a calculation. Let's go with profit divided by sales. Just double click. You got the point, right? Profit divided by sales. And just drag and drop the same calculation into here, measures. So we have created a calculation field, edit. So straight away I created a calculation field in the columns shelf itself. Columns or rows, you can type in. Just type in, make use of region, double click. This is region wise, drop here, region wise, and we have sales and sum of profit, or let's drop and drag and drop region into color. Got the point, right? So it's not mandatory. Let's use, you can create a report, then you can modify. So that is what the advantage of rows and columns. And one of the powerful feature of Tableau is this particular marks card. So you can place anywhere, like marks card, you can place anywhere all these things, right? So no need to worry about the functionality. So you can place anywhere in this particular view. This is what the thing. Got it, right? So you can place here. So that is what the option, or you can go with the worksheet level and show title, show caption, show marks cards, show cards, reset cards. Now I can see. Show me, and you can drop here. It's a flexible thing. So this is what the advantage. And the importance of Tableau is, I can say that this is very powerful. Marks card. The calculations are okay. So we have a flexibility with calculations, but marks card is pretty much powerful because in general, I'm going to create a simple bar chart. In show me, if you are new into Tableau, you can see, right? In show me, it shows only the bar chart. I cannot create a line chart. So how to convert a line chart? When you mouse over, we do get the result here, like the statement. When you mouse over, one date field is mandatory. to create a line chart. So no need to worry about the show me option. First, basically, like create a bar chart. First, create a bar chart, then go with automatic or marks chart, convert into line chart. Got the point, right? So first, create a bar chart, then convert into line or area chart, or you can make use of circles or shapes. Got it? So this is what the advantage of Tableau. Marks chart is very important. So let's go with a simple bar chart. And I just want to explain you these options. Color. You're aware of this color, right? So in general, I'm going to explain all these things every day, like whatever the reporting we are going to do. But I'm going to explain now with a marks chart because we have a space here. We have a space. So first, color is important. Just click on color. You can assign any color. You can assign any color, right? You can assign any color and you can make use of transparency, washout, right? And you can apply some border. This was the first point. Or if you want to edit color, you can see this color coding, or you can go with a RGB color coding. I want to go with orange color. Straight away, you can go with 255. So sometimes users are going to give this RGB color coding 155 and make use of blue 0. You'll get an orange color. Click OK. Got it? So you can change the color coding as well. Make use of transparency, and if you want to exact, so I don't want to go with this much thicker color. Just go with 80%. You can type. So you can go with the same formatting, and advantage with just duplicate sheet and apply some different color or some formatting. So something like a formatting. So just remember, in Tableau we have a flexibility because I have seen lots of reports. You're aware of that, like most of the clients go with the same formatting. Most of the clients, they do go with the same formatting things. So every time whenever I'm going to design these reports, so let's go with sheet 12 and sheet 15. I have to convert. I need to check with the font size and all those things. It's it's a time consuming thing. So for formatting things, so straight away right click, copy format. This is excellent option in Tableau. Copy format and go with the sheet 12, paste format. You got the option, right? Copy format and simply you can paste the option. So this is an advantage with Tableau because let's go with sheet 15, format, borders, cell level, or you can go with add some color, or let's go with the cell, right? For headers, just go with the headers font, increase the font, bold color, you can see this is a bold headers, and go with the red color. So red, and increase the font. So this is what my format. So every time I need to list out this format. So for worksheet, pane level and all those levels, it is 11. The font size is 11, then the color is red. Every time we need to, yeah, something like the same. So right click, copy format, and just go with the sheet 12, right click, paste format. Now you can see. No need to go with individual sheet level format, go with applying borders and all those things. It's a time waste. So it's a flexible option in Tableau. Just remember, you can go with the copy formatting these and paste format. Got the point, right? And I just want to showcase, we'll discuss this all the options for tomorrow, size, text, detail, tooltip. But if you can see this blank, right? So whenever you're working with, or just go with the category by sales, whenever you're working with pie chart, click on pie chart, it creates a pie chart. When you're working with pie chart, we do get angle here. It's dynamic. The box is dynamic. When you're working with pie chart, I'm going to explain that, all these charts. It's angle here. When you convert into shape, you'll get a shape. Convert into shape, you'll get a shape, and you can drag and drop category into shape. You can assign different shapes here. Based on category labels, you can go with the different shapes. Or you can assign. So I'm going to explain that. Got it? Assign different shapes. And we have, sorry, we can go with the shape, angle, and while working with line, you'll get a path. You'll get a path. So I'm going to showcase those things. So this is dynamic. So we do get 3 prompted, something like angle for pie charts and shapes for shape and path for line. Got the point? So this marks card is important. So from tomorrow, we'll start with Tableau development, like the marks card, and I will explain with that. It takes more than like at least like 10 minutes. I will complete within 10 minutes or 15 so that we can start with the actual Tableau functionality. So creation of sheets. So in Tableau, we have sheets, worksheet, dashboard, and story. So we'll create those worksheets, dashboards. And the first concept in Tableau is like in general, we have filters, types of filters. Types of filters. We do have multiple types of filters. We have data source filters, quick filters, and all those things. So we'll discuss more into filters. Clear, right? Any questions you can ask? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you.
Any questions? Okay, fine. Yeah, Ramesh, it's a very good.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Yeah,
a good
thanks.
session as it is, and fine. Thank you very much. So, guys, see you
Yeah,
in the next session. Bye. Take care.
thanks. Yeah, thank you.